All right, Godlings, here's a good one. It brought my attention yesterday, yeah. Um, so it brought my attention, I remembered a story, right? So I was walking to the store, and there's a neat German Shepherd. I've seen the German Shepherd from my window, and I've encountered it before, but usually I want to leave people's animals alone mostly. I want to leave everybody alone at this point in my life and just be left alone. Anywho, but the doggy's cool. The doggy came out. Couldn't remember her name, but I've seen a neat dog before that too. But it's interesting because I remember a story back to when I was working earlier in the year, right? I mentioned about. But it's funny because this dude thought he was gonna get me, right? And what I mean by that, when he pulled up to where we are going, which was his father's house, he pulled up right to where when I would have to get out, that this big dog is rah 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 rah. Not the one I was talking about. That one's a nice dog, but this other one. And it was really funny because I'm not gonna mention the shithead's name, but it was funny because he pulled up right to where when I'd have to get out, I was like, I don't know, arm's length probably from the fence and this dog that clearly doesn't like anybody. But I don't care. I don't care about that. You know why? Because I think people think I'm fucking joking when I tell them my stories. And I'm not, okay? I'm going to tell you the freaking truth. And one of them was that I used to work at an animal shelter. I volunteered for one and I worked for one. And let me tell you, I worked with dogs that were way nastier, way more unpredictable than that one, okay? So that doesn't scare me like you think it would. And when dogs come running up to me, I already know what to do, so that doesn't bother me. But here's the thing. Most animals, cats and dogs and children love me. You know why? Because I'm not a threat to them. And they aren't a threat to me. They aren't a threat to me because I'm not a threat to them. And also, if they want fear, they don't get that out of me. Okay? But it's funny, so then I got thinking, I was like, well, why does this guy got a dog and cameras everywhere? I was like, you don't have that much. I was like, weird. But anywho, this dude thought he was going to get me by pulling up, arm's length from this crazy dog, this barking. I'm like, whatever, man. And let me tell you, when I say this, I mean this. I worked in an animal shelter, and I worked with all sorts of animals. Big pets, nasty pets, feral animals, cats, dogs of all sorts of sizes. Now, let me tell you. Now, a little fucking chihuahua has more of the energy and hate than a big dog. I'm telling you. Most dogs will think twice before they interact or try to mess with a human. If they're cornered and feeling scared, then, of course, they're going to do it up. Now, a cat will never think twice. No. I've seen feral cats that will rip your shit apart faster than anything, okay? And I've had feral cats. Now, I'm not scared about a whole lot of things. However, I'm more, like, if I'm in that situation, I'm more scared of a little fucking feral cat than I am a big, scary dog. Seriously, because they will fuck you up. They got claws, and they can make you bleed. Okay? And what I say, and one thing is, cats are like women and dogs are like men, right? Like, how guys are like back in the day, you're at the bar, you get pissed off at the guy and you throw a couple punches and then you're like friends and then you're drinking over it next week. It's not a big deal. But women, no. No, women, it's the grudge. It's a continuous grudge match. And that's the way cats are. I remember one guy, I'll tell this one last story and I gotta go. But but this guy, this cat shouldn't have been in the room anyway, right? But this cat was not for, certain people can handle certain cats and certain animals, and they loved them. And other ones they hated. They wouldn't deal with them. Now, this guy, he opened up the cage and, and he shut the door. And I said, Tom, cats are a lot like women. You can't just jump on them and go. You got to warm them up first. He's like, oh, hey, thanks, Tim. Like, Hey, don't take my words of wisdom. Whatever.